Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. Now, that's on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. The show is fun. I mean, just so many things that we can say. Continue sending emails, by the way. You make my day. We've had some guests who have, and some folks who watch the show who say, oh, I don't want to bother you, but I'm sending you an email. I got a suggestion. I got a recipe for you. I got whatever. You're not bothering me at all. I'm going to tell you what, hearing from you makes my day. So you can continue sending emails to Donna at donnasedge.com. We are syndicated. You can find us on Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the podcasters.com. It's the newscaster studio. But again, thank you so much for watching us. You know, we are new now to radio. And it's kind of different, Chad, because, you know, with television, you have the widget that you can show folks. Mm-hmm. But now I have to use my imagination more, but I'm still having a blast because I have wonderful guests. We'll be talking with Chad in just a few minutes. But we are on a radio station located right here in Abbeville. They're big and they're small at the same time, if that makes any sense. So they're homegrown Saturdays at 9 a.m. We're with them, and they are with WZLA. It's classic country. Oh, they play the old country stuff, which I kind of dig. You know, the group Alabama, you know, Feels So Right, and all those kinds of songs. So they have that as well. But thank you guys so much. And they are located on 92.9 FM. So go ahead and check them out, okay? And I was on their morning show the other day.
Were you?
Yeah, we had such a good time. Yeah, those folks are really good stuff. So if you are looking for a local and you would like to advertise local, you need to check them out. They're really some nice folks. And they've been doing this morning show now for, I think he said 15 years. So that's been a long time. Absolutely. Okay, Chad Prince Webb is with me right now. Chad and I we're just instant friends, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
We met each
We connected.
other.
That's right.
We sure did. You'll connect with me anytime you call me beautiful. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, you are.
And he's handsome, so, you know, but anyway. So you're like my son.
Yeah.
You know, you're my little boy.
That's right.
Yeah. So actually, he knows more than I do. So that's why he's on the show today. So let's talk about your business. I'm so impressed with everything you do.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was born and raised in Southern Illinois, believe it or not. Yes, I'm a Yankee, but I've lived in the South. Well, you know, they always say you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, then you're a Yankee. And yes, I have to admit I'm a Yankee, but I've lived in the South longer than I have the North.
Well, then you're one of us.
That's right. That's right. I was born and raised in Southern Illinois, and that's, you know, the very bottom of
then you're from the South.
I mean, let me just tell you, my town, 1,900 people, were nothing but country folk, farm living.
No.
So we were. I mean, it was the country, you know. But anyway, it was a 1,900 people, little city, little town. And, you know, I was just born and raised there and went to my K through 12 was in one school, believe it or not. I had 40 people in my graduating class.
Sounds like the school I went to.
It's just insane when you think about it, how many that is, because compared to other schools you see thousands or 300, you know. But small town boy, of course, loving the Friday night lights of football and singing the national anthem, and you know, that was my stuff. And of course, so yeah, there I was born and raised, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my upbringing a little bit, and so I was, how can you say, I was, you're inspired, right? From an early age. You have a passion from an early age. And, you know, I don't know where this came from, but I can blame it on the Muppets.
The Muppets.
The Muppets. Oh. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. Yeah. I love Kermit the Frog. But
one of my aspirations is Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy. But I would wake at 5 years old, and I would be, you know, sitting there watching the TV at 5, dressed ready for school, and my mom would wake up and go, "What? What?" So it evolved. And so the Muppets being so expressive and how the creation of how they do that, I think really, and plus my mother is very creative. She was always making prom corsages, wedding corsages, boutonnieres, and everybody would do the what are those called?
The garter.
The garter, yeah. She would do the garters, and I can't tell you the many proms that my mother did some beautiful things for. And so, of course, she also worked for Home Interior very early on.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about the home interiors that had the groupings on the walls.
They sure did, yeah. And of course, they had a little bit of metal art. If you remember, some of that had metal art, and it was beautiful stuff back then. So a lot of my inspiration came from those things, and of course, the church. I was raised in the church, a kind of Baptist church, and
I was Baptist too.
It was free will. Yeah, I was free will, and they're kind of neck and neck, and everybody's got their beliefs. But anyway, I was born and raised, and I loved gospel music. There's a place in my heart for gospel music. I love the Gaither Vocal Band. You name it. I love all the artists. Golly. So my heart pounded for telling the story, the whole telling the story, and then being raised up in that. I think my family really wanted me, my sisters and me, to become very independent and be workers. And so I don't know how it came about, but I got, and as an entrepreneur, I started as a paper boy. I delivered.
How old were you?
9 years old, pedaling in the cold.
Your first business at 9 years old.
My first till 17. Yeah. Then I worked for McDonald's.
It's cold up there.
Well, for some reason, I don't know, global warming, but listen,
not a thought then, right?
It was, back when my day, we had snow up to, those things.
Well, my husband, he has almost the same analogy that you do. He says that when he went to school, he walked uphill both ways in the snow. He walked. No, that's wrong. I asked his parents about that. No, he rode a school bus like everybody else did.
Yep.
There was none of this walking uphill both ways in the snow.
Oh, yeah. And I remember my bus driver very well. I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You made another, you were gone. He would sing that to us anyway. Look, we get along so well already.
So many similarities. I didn't know that you liked Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pippi Longstockings, and then Pee Wee Herman, all those, but Pippi Longstockings and Curious George, all those books about creativity.
I know.
It
Mr.
really
Rogers.
was.
I loved Mr. Rogers.
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. They're not a lot older than you are, but anyway.
No, I remember it
my
well.
My son grew up with that. I was the kid that.
I remember it. Yeah. So creativity is my thing. Is my telling the story, and so I did the paper out for 9 to 17, and I had roughly 150 papers.
That's good. So did you set yourself goals back in those days?
I was at 4. No, I really didn't know how to do that yet. That being honest with you, but it grew into a love of understanding the need of a person.
It wasn't about selling. It was about supplying a need.
You're right. Well, and things come from
I can't be sold stuff. Now you take care of the need, I'm okay.
That's different. And I just had the conversation this morning with a friend of mine who's got a house for sale, and he was like, I can't stand a salesman. And I said, I'm gonna tell you this. There's a hard separation for me because Mama raised me to not really care for salesmen, but if you give it a minute, if you give it 1 second and think about everybody that's in the workforce, you are selling a good.
Everybody's a salesperson.
You're a salesperson. However, I digress. If you make it about the person and the need, then you are doing something here. But I really do believe, I'm going to go back to my biblical days, I really do believe that the love of money can be the root of all evil, and I've seen that in this
but
industry
it
too.
doesn't say money's the root of all. It's
That's
just
right, the love of it.
Okay.
The love of it. Because what happens is, I'm not going to go off on the tangent today, but I will say that being raised up in this industry is what I call it, and I'm going to get to what I do actually here in a minute. But being raised up in this industry, I've had somebody that actually tried to frame me.
What?
And I'm like, what? What purpose
It had
is
to
that?
be a competitor.
It was definitely a competitor, and I truly believe that people see you and they're threatened. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do, because this is what happened to me years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so Facebook comes up. Okay, so we have Facebook, and I was in television then, and I started doing Facebook Lives and stuff like that. Well, all of the other talk show hosts, it's like, what are you trying to do? Get rid of radio and television? What are you doing? And I'm like, it's just another avenue. I'm helping.
That's right.
I'm helping my customers receive more customers. That's all you do.
Yeah.
It was just another platform. Now they're all doing it. They copied me.
Yeah. We're constantly changing, right? And when you're a visionary, like you are, obviously,
You are.
and I'm a visionary, it's just, growing with the times, because now there's this thing called SEO, which is, online, and you have your presence online, right? And it's forever going. But it's just crazy. But anyway, I digress.
Do you really feel like you have competitors though? Because I don't see you, and I'm saying this in like a very nice way. I can't see anybody doing what you do. Because what you do, okay, let's say we both sold widgets.
Sure.
We wouldn't be competitors because I have my way of doing widgets and you would have your way of doing it.
People choose you. And I'll say that until I'm dead. People choose you because of the way that you have. I had a teacher in high school who taught me something very, very early on, and he was a biology teacher, and he was also a ranger in Southern Illinois at the state park. And he was amazing teacher. Shout out to Mr. Morgan. How you doing, buddy? But he said, when you're in this classroom, you give me your guts and you leave your horses in the hall. But he was the best, most fun teacher I'd ever had because he kept things interesting. He was silly as a goose. He was a visionary, and he came up with this thing called the Outdoorsman Club. The Outdoorsman Club, as a junior and senior, you got to collect cans. The money would go towards the thing, and you did the work, right? And then you got introduced and would be a part of this Outdoorsman Club. They had we had a big time. We were on the syndication. They put us on the syndication with, the guy was in Damn Yankees. He was a singer, or the big guitarist in Damn Yankee, or was it guitarist or bass? Anyway, now he's in Texas, but he was on our at our program. And so what we did with this club was that we would allow those people who for the love of hunting, we would take them out. They would be paraplegics, quadriplegics, people that didn't have any movement from the neck down sometimes. Some people just had just like a disability of whatever, but they loved to hunt and they missed that portion. So what we would do is we would go and create them a blind out in Fitzgerald Park, State Park in Illinois.
That's awesome. And
then we would put them in there. We would have an overnight camp, cook chili, all the things. They would, some people had. I remember there was a gun. This man only had the capabilities of his face and his, lungs. Well, he would blow into a funnel, and the funnel would shoot a bullet. And that's how he killed a deer. And they would bring it back, and we would field dress it, and we would send it to processing for him. But I tell you what, it was again about the need. If you think about everything that you do, I'm grateful for the lessons that my mother actually did teach me. And I'm going to tell you what she taught me early on was, and I didn't understand it back then. I didn't understand. Think on things that are eternal. When I got older, I said, that changes everything, the trajectory of your life. Whether you're in an argument, whether you're in a situation, it changes the trajectory, because we are in the people business. And if anything you do, and this is exactly what I was raised to do, was to give 200 million%. You leave it golden. The way that you found it is that you leave it golden after you leave. Whatever it is, a human, you give it your whole guts, right? Like my teacher, you give it your all. It's just something that is innate in a person. And I'm so grateful for that upbringing, you know. In fact, disappointment too. Early on, I would go and do my collection of the papers on Saturday, and I had a sweet older woman who was my friend. She had a cat that I felt stood this tall and was my favorite, because she would give me a Coca-Cola. We would sit down and we'd have a conversation. When I went to her house, and she had passed, and I remember running home, couldn't finish, and crying myself to sleep because it was so heartbroken.
She made a connection with you.
She made a connection with me, and it's all about loving. It comes back to being all about loving. Because I tell you this, at the end of the day, we all have to do something we love. We are all in the people business, and you can't take this stuff with you. So where is your rich? Where is your money bank? You know, it all starts.
What keeps you up?
With a heart. With the heart. Now, some people, they see that and go, "Oh, what?" And that's fine. But for me and my heart, what keeps this heart a pumping is the fact that I'm helping another human. I think it set the stage for where I'm at in life now. And what I'm doing is, okay, my mother's an artist. My grandmother was an artist. My first cousin is an artist. And so it then trickled down to me, right? So I've always been in the creation, loving to create like you, but I've always loved it. I always loved it. Whether I was telling a story through a song that I was singing.
That's an artist too.
That's an artist too. I grew up and I was in competition, both in the state and national field for school and my church. And I won twice with a solo and a duet. And they sent you out the year after for that next national. Was
it Love Lift Us Up Where We Belong? Because I heard your song the other day.
Oh my word! That was the first time I'd sang that.
The first time.
No, that's a secular, what they call a secular music.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to listen to secular.
No.
But we did anyway.
We did. But shh, don't tell anybody. We put that in the back. You remember when I had CDs? You put them in the back. You know.
Let me ask you a thing about church.
Sure.
Okay, because see, my dad pastored the church we went to, and so he would say, "You start setting up front," and I'd say, "I am setting up front." But don't be too much of a smart aleck to your parents who get backhanded. But what I meant is, I would say, "Well, I'm sitting in the front."
Yeah.
There's the front door.
I can't with you.
That was the front door. So that meant to me that was setting.
Yeah.
He didn't buy it either.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, I'll tell you, I do have fond memories of church. And my great grandmother, Thelma, she was spectacular. She made this amazing desserts.
I was going to ask.
She knew how to make it. Eclair, she had this thick piece of chocolate at the top of it. Man, I miss you, Grandma. And I tell you what, I loved that at the end of her life, before she went to the nursing home, she asked me to mow her lawn. I actually kind of liked it because I got to, she did pay me a little bit, but I was also there with her. And she did this thing because my mother was notoriously late for everything. And I said I would never do that. I hate being late, by the way, but she would.
Yeah, I know you were here like an hour before you needed to be.
I mean,
well, I'm stretching it a little bit.
A little bit. But now we're talking about church and you're fibbing. But anyway, so
sorry.
I would walk in late because my mother got there late with us. and she'd creep up like this, and she'd come out of her pew, and she'd say, "Oh, Brother Larry, I believe my grandson's got a song to sing." And I had to come ready with tape. It didn't matter if we had already sung the 3 songs. You know how it is. You three songs, and then this preaching starts, right? It didn't matter if he was already started preaching. She was she was a longtime supporter, and so you know what, he did it. He let her do it. But great memories of.
So were there assigned seating?
No. I mean,
like you didn't sit in like Sister Susie's seat, did you?
No, but like my grandma Eladine, she always sat in one section. So did my great grandmother Thelma, grandpa and grandma, and my aunts, and I mean everybody in my family, both sides, were born and raised in the Fruitable Baptist Church. Mom and Dad were Camp Hope in Southern Illinois, Ewing, Illinois. They were sweethearts, and that's how they met.
So that was a story.
Yeah. And it was so cute. But anyway, so I digress. See, I could go off on a rabbit hole, but so my mother's an artist. I'm an artist. My great grandmother, my first cousin, and it started in that section, and telling a story like music and stuff. So then, as I got older, I decided to go to Nashville, Tennessee, and I went to seminary. Yes, I did. I went to seminary, but that didn't last long. So,
what seminary did you go to?
I went to the Free Will Baptist Bible College. That is now, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't remember what it's called now. But I didn't stay, but I did through some life choices, and I ended up staying in Nashville, Tennessee for 18 years.
Oh, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Secular songs?
Well, how about this? I was on stage after stage for, most of those years in local theater. And I remember on a 2-year span, I was on 16 stages. And some of them were paid, some of them were not. But I enjoy the storytelling, right? And so obviously music has played a big role in my life. And so then I decided that I wanted to go to interior design school. And it was high concentration in graphic arts. And there's a little story here. I grew up loving to design on Microsoft Paint, the program.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that.
I definitely
and I still have the picture that I designed on my phone. And I'll have the syndicator or the producer flash that on. That'd be cute for you guys to see. But I remember the company was it was the Free Will Baptist Sunday school curriculum. They hired a Disney designer. And so for some reason, I wanted to see what he thought of my stuff, And I said, hey, I want to tell me when you got some free time. And I brought him my artwork. And I said, what do you think? And he said, well, if my work's a motorcycle, your work is a tricycle. If my work is a motorcycle, yours is a tricycle. And of course, stabbed me, but what it did was that
ignited you, didn't it?
Opposition. It ignited my passion even higher. So I thank you for, telling me the truth.
Yeah, but you know how I would have looked at that? I would have wow, he's actually putting me in the same category he's in.
At least it's a cycle.
Yet.
Right. At least it's a cycle. And it just so happened that, and boy, I was very vocal on how it hurt me. I laugh at myself now. I'm like, oh my gosh, life has changed, how it's brought me. But so I started learning Photoshop. And I started doing my own logos. People asked me to do their logos. And
did you do this?
I did my own logo. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at. Thank you for letting me have this.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
So do you do this for people?
I do. And in fact, this is the logo that I came up for my design firm. And then I decided to give it a twist, putting it on the side and making it look like it's kind of spinning, but it's actually my initials, Chad, You see the C?
Mm-hmm.
I got to go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And then David,
Mm-hmm.
and then Webb.
Anyway.
Of course, my name is Chad Prince Webb, but I wanted it to have something that's all encompassed and be uniquely mine. And then somebody was like, I twisted it to become, my real estate, which I'm telling you, I was going to get to that here in a second. But somebody told me that looked like a labyrinth. And I said, well, isn't buying a home like going through a labyrinth?
Oh, my goodness.
I said, well,
that is a process within itself.
It really is. And so I thought it was a good, people are like, what is it? Well, it's my initials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just thought it was cool, and I'm not trying to be a narcissist. I just had fun with it, and, it was fun. So, but yeah, so I went to interior design school with a high concentration in graphic arts, graduated, and, that was when the economy took.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go into healthcare because there was just nothing in Nashville at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, stayed in healthcare for a good 12 years.
So what did you do in healthcare? Because I'm just going to tell you, your demeanor, I could come in with a broke leg. You would have me. I mean, I would be, this is cool to have. I would feel like.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? Okay. I first started out at Vanderbilt Hospital in the children's department, in the gastroenterology department as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And I quickly realized, well, at that time I didn't realize, I just thought I had people that were haters, and I don't know that I am meant for a supervisor because they didn't get me and I didn't get them. And it's almost like you have to communicate, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. I was so excited about my theater and while living in Nashville, obviously Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, my boss, she stop talking about yourself. Stop talking about what you're doing. Do this, only this, we butted heads. So then I went out to a different department within Vanderbilt at 100 Oaks, and I was in the coding and charge entry department. Man, was that for real. Mm-hmm. So my boss at the time, Karen, I'm throwing out names. She's no longer there, but she's retired now. She would pull me in monthly because that's how she did with her. I had 9 supervisors. She was the head though, and I had 8 of their calendars. I had 8 of them.
And you had 8 different personalities when you had 8 different personalities.
And you did. I never learned my lesson on who you could trust because I was just as vocal, Yeah,
but something, there are people who have their own business, and they lead the charge and they go. Then there are people who work for others. I couldn't work for other people either. I worked in the corporate world a number of years, and it was just like I was stopped so many times to go to stupid, senseless meetings. And I would say, look, I could be doing my job instead of sitting here. Yeah. There was one about saving the company money. It was GTE I used to work with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, I started working with them when they were Contail.
Because GTE went to Bell South.
No, they went to Verizon.
Verizon, sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I was there with them through 4 buyouts.
Okay.
And each time it was just, I don't know, it wasn't for me. Yeah. It was not corporate for me. So then my boss always thought I wanted his job.
Yeah.
So I was this person that handled the corporate and the government accounts. Mm-hmm. And to me, it wasn't a sales job. It was meeting the needs of others.
That's right.
That's what you do. Well, this is back when nobody had a cell phone, Chad.
Right.
You're young enough where you don't know.
Not even the phones that were in the cars, not even?
We started from ground zero.
Wow.
I'm telling, this is in the 80s, okay? And only doctors and only a few of them.
Yeah, I had those.
They mainly had pagers, though.
Yeah.
So then you had to sell them on the idea of a cell phone, and not really sell them on it. It was the convenience of the whole thing. Because you had to go find the phone, right? You had to go find a payphone somewhere or at somebody's house or whatever to be able to use those. So my boss, I mean, I was quick winning trips and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was no secret to it.
Right.
I mean, so they sent a guy from headquarters, Nashville was their headquarters.
Was it really?
So a guy comes
wait
in.
a minute. Yes, it
He
was.
wants to see how I do this.
Uh-huh.
So what's the secret? What's the big secret? So he wanted to come one day and go with me on 3 appointments. He said, have me 3 appointments set up. And I said, okay. And the 3 appointments were not what he was expecting.
No.
I was at the companies. I went because what I would do, the number one reason people quit with a cell phone company is they don't understand the billing. And I'm telling you, you practically have to hire an accountant to figure it out. Well, I had to figure it out. So what I would say is on the first, I would say, okay, we got you set up. Who does who pays your bills?
Right.
Who's the accounts payable.
Right.
And they would say the person like down whatever. And I would say, I want an appointment then. Do not let them open the bill until I get there.
Right.
It'll freak them out.
Sure.
You know, so that's how I gained their confidence. It was just doing things like that, not necessarily selling. So the guy comes with me, and so he said, this is not the appointments I was talking about. And I said, there'll be appointments come out of this one. Sure enough, somebody in cubicle whatever would want a phone.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I did it. That's how I set my business up.
You were a visionary.
God, well,
That's what it is.
My boss started giving me a hard time.
Okay,
I mean,
of
just
course.
horrible. So I came home just almost in tears telling him, and I don't cry much, but it was enough. You know? And so Phil said, it's simple. He thinks you want his job. He said, you want his job? And I said,
what did I say earlier?
No, I don't.
What did I say earlier?
His job.
People see you as their competition, especially when you come with a heart. And there's an art. It's just innate, right? I don't know that it can be taught, right? So I really don't know. I don't know that it can be.
I didn't want his job.
No.
So this is what he said. He said, well, why wouldn't you want my job? And I was trying really hard not to insult him.
Right.
Okay. And I said, okay, I've got a teenage son. I don't want to be on the job 80 hours a week like you are.
Right.
I said, I've turned it into a business. It's like Donna owned this business right here, you know,
right.
Even though I work for a corporate. So I said, I get to go watch him play ball.
Yeah.
I get to do all these things with a teenage son.
That's right.
I get to do all these things I couldn't do if I had your job. And then he said, okay. And he was still kind of grumpy about it. And I said, and I make double the money you make. Oh, but I said, a title means nothing to me. Call me yourself. Call me the janitor. I don't care what you call me. I'm happy being your salesperson.
That's
who,
right.
by the way, made him a lot of commissions.
Okay.
He got to take trips because
did that calm him down?
It did.
Okay, good.
As Phil said, just be honest with him. Just tell him.
Right.
This is my husband, the voice of reason. Okay. So the voice of reason taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
To be honest. Now, it hurt his feelings when I said I make double the money you make, and I did. I made twice as much money, even with his bonuses and all that.
Well,
and so he thought because I made that money, I wanted his job. Nothing could be further from the truth.
wow.
And I did tell him this. I said, and another thing, you're going to be dead if you keep going at the route you're going right now.
That was good
because
advice.
you're going to have a heart attack.
That's right.
I said, you are in line for a stroke or a heart attack.
So now the question becomes, who would be good for that job? Because it would give everybody heart palpitations.
I mean, don't want to be dead before.
No,
you know, and he did have a heart attack.
Did he really?
And I'm going to tell you what, he wrote me the most heartfelt letter telling me I was the best employee he ever had. Well, he didn't have to stay over me. I mean, I just did my job. That's all I did.
So can I just correlate with what so back at the coding and charge entry department.
I sensed it.
Well, it's just fascinating.
Another thing we have in common.
Mm-hmm. So the boss, she was so mean to me. Of course, you have to understand there's 108 women coders.
Oh my God, you work with women.
There was maybe 1-2 guys. 108 women coders. So their job was very serious. The main boss had $4,700 paychecks in her hand, right? Because they were coding and charge entry. That's how that got paid, right? And so, you know, she saw me being a comedian, but the people who needed that break when I would come by and visit them, they loved it. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but they loved me.
She saw you being happy.
That's right. That's right.
She wasn't
happy about it. But now, The moment that I left, for 7 years afterwards, she sent me a text every year for my birthday.
See what I mean?
And she said, "Happy birthday, I'm thinking of you."
Because you were honest.
I mean, so go be you. I mean, even if you get fired from a job, just go be yourself. And that's the rest of the world will catch up.
And your customers are going to know that too. They're going to
right.
know whether you're faking it or whether you really mean it. So
That's
it just takes genuine, takes genuine concern and love of people.
Love of
That's
people.
what it's all about.
For the
We've got to
love
go
of
to a
people.
commercial break. Can you believe we went way past it?
Hey, I'm
Phil's
sorry
going to
about
beat
that.
on me about that. I'm just going to tell you. We got to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. No, he's a sweetheart. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Age Television Talk Show. I've been doing this for 20 years.
20.
Yeah, there's a story to this. Okay, in my relationship with my husband, I'm the one who forgets wedding anniversaries. Okay, he's the one who remembers it all. I'm the one who forgets. So this friend of mine, Tom Williams, said, Donna, I want you to host a noontime show. And I said, yeah, I forget my name. Are you kidding me? So anyway, he somehow talked me into it. So I did it, and I said, well, when are we going to start this? And he said, okay, since you can never seem to remember, we were friends. He said, since you can never seem to remember your wedding anniversary, let's do it April 1st. I've never forgot it. I always remember April 1st of, now I forget what year it was, but anyway, April 1st.
Did you play a trick on them every year?
No, I didn't have to. I just naturally played tricks. Tom, thank you so much for getting my start. You are absolutely awesome. So it was just one of those little fun things. But I can see that you liked everything you've ever. I've always liked everything I've ever done. People say, "Well, what was your best career choice?"
Yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
Because one step leads you to another step, and I really was not even
do.
looking for the next step. It just happened.
It just happened. Yeah. And, somebody gave me, I was like, they were like, what type of artist are you? And I was like, I really don't know. So then we kind of did a little research, and this is what I'm considered. Okay. And I'm going to break it down to layman's terms, but I consider myself a multimedia expressionist and symbolism designer, painter, artist, interior designer, space planner, fixture schematics creator, graphic artist, floral designer, singer, actor, living for everything art.
Everything.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, like
but
whenever
you're handling it though.
I'm trying, I mean, so if ever I go to when I go with a client to their house and I'm designing anything for them, I will schematics means you're just going to sketch it out right in there in front of them, whatever you're envisioning, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what that means by schematics, or I'll place something and do a drawing for them. Just like
all visual, right?
Just visual, just like you saw my logo. I designed that on CAD. Computer-aided drafting when I was in interior design school. Yeah.
Oh, it's the phone number out there.
Yeah. And so after school, I did get one job, but it quickly cut because of that times, and that's times when we took a big dump. The economy did. I went to work for a food service equipment company called R&D Fixtures. I think they might be still in business. And so I got to design for downtown Kansas City, Kansas, this company called Cosentino's, very Italian. But they asked me to design an 84-foot salad bar, a pizzeria, a bread station, a gelato, a sandwich, all of it, the whole store lineup. And I did so, and I presented it with PowerPoint, taking the isometrics, which just means that you're seeing things on a just like you're seeing this room on an angle, right? This is an isometric in the back of us. So I would deliver this idea, giving the vision from taking these plain pictures, and then in Photoshop I would render each bar with the actual tile finish that went on it. And after the meeting with the suits, as they called it, they gave us $6 million more in revenue. And it just so happened that I was the newest fella on the totem pole, as they say, lowest. And so they had to let me go during those times. And I was really heartbroken. But everything leads you into a new place in life. Every lesson brings you into. I really believe that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but there was a long time ago that just like the guy who told me that my work was a tricycle, just like that, now in life, you sort of should think of it at an angle of a thank you. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me.
Actually, to me, he put you on the same level he was. You just didn't have the experience.
Right. And I didn't have the understanding at that
He could have said you're a tractor. I would have taken offense to that. But saying you're a tricycle when he's on the bike, I mean, that's the way I look at things.
Hey, I'm not mad about it, but now I look at things, and even if I, sometimes forget, I'll go, no, Chad, don't turn that around. You're still with us here in this life, and you're still doing what your passion is, to help people. There's always a need. And so after interior design school, I stayed in the healthcare system until, it was probably 4 years ago, because then I transferred to the Veterans Affairs, and I was a biller for them. I actually started billing, and then I went to, when I moved from Nashville to East Tennessee only for 4 years, and then I decided that Greenwood, South Carolina was my home, and I got married.
I love Greenwood.
It is fascinating. Of course, I'm a small town boy, And it all starts with heart, and that's what I really truly believe. But I decided to get after my father's passing, I decided life is too short. It's too short.
It is.
Donna, it's too short. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. And so I decided that I was going to become a interior designing real estate person.
It all fits.
And I'm now a realtor. And I now also, well, actually, this came first. I was a loan officer first. Now I give advice financially to people who are, and this area has a lot of it. So, you know, I will come to your business, by the way, and I will give a conversation to people about how we can get you on the path of home ownership. And so I also do real estate, and it's just kind of like all encompassed: artist, interior designer, real estate, loan officer.
And let me tell you why I think it's such a grand idea. Because I mean, I don't have to go to somebody to stage my house if I want to sell it. I don't have to, I mean, I don't have to do that.
Right.
So you just handle it all. You know my taste, and you know the taste of others. So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Because I'm a picture person. I've got
visual. Remember,
I took pictures of Brad from birth on to whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just constantly. So I had this habit of like, everything goes in a frame. Everything goes in a frame.
Sure.
And that's fine if I'm living there. But what if I'm selling my house? Do I need to keep those pictures in there?
No. You take your personal pictures out. You take your diplomas off the wall. You take everything personal out. Even if it's something that just you would like, take it out of the room. Everybody wants to be able to visualize. If you're trying to sell your home, I'm glad you asked me, because people are so confused as to why would they be angry? They wouldn't be angry, but they can't visualize their crap, stuff on the wall. They can't.
That's fine.
So
okay. So I mean, you're true. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So Phil and I were looking at houses when we were coming here. We didn't know you.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
You would have been my guy. So, but we were. I mean, you're right. Because the houses we would look at, I was seeing like, you know, Aunt Susie, and I was seeing like kids all over the wall. I wasn't seeing myself in the house.
Right.
The houses that I actually saw that made sense to me were ones that were empty. Because then, but now, you know, if you're living in it and you're selling it, you can't empty it. But you got the right attitude about just taking the personal stuff out. Now, what if I've got 10 kids and their toys all over the place? What do I need to do about that for a couple that's just
sure?
It's a couple. They have no kids.
Okay. Well, first of all, something that sellers should understand is that if you know that somebody's going to be coming through your home because you signed up to do that, then we need to find an alcove for those toys and clean up daily. Okay. So find a place that is in a cabinet. Don't have it out. Do not have it out. I think the same thing for dog toys, dog beds, and so forth. If you can.
Because some people don't like pets. I can't imagine that. But some, I would have animals.
I have 4 puppies in the house. Yeah, I would have horses in the house. Remember, leave your horses in the hall. Remember, I thought I taught you that.
Yeah. Phil always says, and I say, I've got to have some goats. And Phil goes, no, we're not going to have goats now. If I draw the line.
Do you not have any goats?
I don't have goats.
I had 1 goat. I had 30 chickens.
You're going to have to talk with Phil about this. Are they easy to raise?
Oh, they're easy.
Please say yes.
Easy. Okay. And they're just like a dog, honestly. But
he loves our dog.
They are so precious. But I had 30 chickens, 9 ducks, and a baby goat named Felicia. So every day when I left, I said, "Bye, Felicia." It was funny.
Oh, you're going to love my chicken names.
Oh.
So I have 2 rock chickens. You know what? They're black. They're beautiful.
Yes.
They're just the most beautiful chickens ever. So Phil said, "You're not going to name them, are you?" So we've got 9 right now. 9 hens.
Yes, you got to name them.
And so I did. I said, he said, "What are you going to name them?" And I said, "Rock is in their name." And I grew up in the 70s with the rock music and all this.
Yes.
And I said, one is Blondie and the other one is Joan Jett.
Oh, Joan Jett.
So I've got Joan Jett and Blondie.
She's still doing her thing, girl.
Yeah. Well, so's Blondie.
Yeah. Joan Jett. Have you been to Rock City, by the way? I thought you had. I knew you had after you said that. Yeah. Look, I was born and raised in the 70s. Yes, 78 actually.
You're still
And
a child.
the days of prom. Oh, I've always considered myself. I used to say hopeless romantic. Now I say hopeful romantic because life is all about romance and loving other people, loving yourself first. But yeah, so this business of design and doing real estate and being there for the people and what they need. And so now I got to tell you this too. So wrapping everything else around what I love to do, what makes my heart go boom, boom, boom. I had a little guy where I used to work, my last firm. He was there for the summer with his grandmother, who was an agent. And I was like, oh, I can't figure out this, video editing thing. And, it seems to be all the rage. And he was like, oh, you don't? 14 years old, mind you. And he said, oh, yeah, I do it for my baseball, my baseball team. And I was like,
I was going to say, yeah.
So he sat down with me 2 days and he taught me everything I know. And we all Venmo'd him like $80 for his day of work. And man, he made some money while he was here from Michigan. But now what I offer my clients is, I think it's state of the art because I offer what is considered a commercial for.
Because you can actually show me. So because we're going to redo. Okay, we bought the Brady Bunch house. Okay, it's a tri-level and
there's a story.
Lovely lady. Yeah. So I love the house, but what I don't like is the carpet, and I don't like. And it was one of those situations where we sold our house.
Yeah.
And the farm, and we sold all that, and we had like a week or two. We had to like hurry up and move.
That's always how it
is.
That's
the way it always goes. So we didn't get to do anything about the carpet.
Yeah.
We're
not yet.
We're going to do that.
That's okay.
It's a goal. We're going to do that.
That's
because
right.
I had the garden and all that stuff coming up too. Yeah. So that's my first love, the garden. You tell by looking at the house.
Yes. Well, I mean, oh gosh, we got to have you over to my house because I'm going to show you my husband's garden.
I got it.
Crazy. See it. Crazy. I'm telling you.
You have a rose garden?
We have rose gardens. Well, I mean, rose bushes, several of them. Yeah. So.
You have a black rose?
No, but I would love one.
I'm dying for a black rose. I want every color there is.
I would love that.
I would love that. Do you know how to propagate them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One of us is going to find one, and then we'll propagate off of it.
Hey, if you have a black rose, let us know. We'll take it off your hands.
Okay, you just brought me to another question.
Sure.
So, okay, when you're selling your home, how important is it to keep the grass cut?
Very.
Like that.
Okay, so I'm just going to set it, and I'm gonna put this baby to bed. Okay. What you got to think about is if you are not a nitpicky person, you have to think like a nitpicky person. You have to have everything meticulous. You have to have if you ask me, if you ain't got a plain color on the walls just to make it neutral, you may want to think about it because people want to envision their stuff on your walls.
And just because you love the color red walls doesn't mean
right.
Because that could scare other people.
That's right. Think about it when you go to paint a wall. Number one, red. Are you really trying to be angry all the time? You're self-conscious.
Oh my goodness, I've got a red dress on.
But
Am
red,
I angry?
No, she looks beautiful in this dress. I'm not. She did. When I got up, she drove in. She was like standing there. Hey, and I was like, oh, you're so pretty, lady in red.
That's why he's my best friend.
It's dancing with me. Remember that one?
You better believe I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yes, keep that grass clean. Anything to do with
no weeds.
No. If you want to get the most out of your home, best advice is, and if it's something that's feasible to paint the wall, that's not hard. Cut your grass, okay, or clean up. Put it in a closet somewhere, or just make it. Go
just rent. Let them open the closet, and then everything.
Okay, here's the thing: go rent a $50 monthly.
That's the answer.
Yeah, and move things off of the premises. And your garage. No, it is off limits of being meticulous because it's a garage. But I will say that whenever I do see a clean, neatly placed garage, I'm like, okay, sold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about being meticulous at that point. And I gotta say, you know, as I get clients, I learn something about myself and about how to handle the next client, But now I offer a video walkthrough on my YouTube channel. I will have Phil put that out there too. But this walkthrough, several walkthroughs, because I then do SEO, which is all, you know, you have to hit it. This social media, I have 13 social medias, and you have to constantly move your videos out there on your properties. Right now, I have 2 properties for sale. One in Piedmont, that is 390 Blakely Avenue in Piedmont, South Carolina. And the other one is that I just put it on this weekend, 307 Pascal Drive in Greenwood. And it's so cute. Both of them are beautiful. The one out in Piedmont is 8.32 acres, and it is an equestrian property, and it's got a 2-story home, 3-bedroom, and all 3 bedrooms have their own ensuite. It is quite stunning. The garage outside is about 40 yards away from the house, is set up for a business. It's got the right-hand side, so they got 2 bays, 14-foot bays. So if you want to fit a massive ocean boat in there, guess what? It's 14 feet tall. You can do that. And then you can actually wash your trucks and stuff in the garage because it's got a draining system. It's got its own plumbing. And I tell you what, it is gorgeous. The right-hand side concrete is 13 inches. So if you want to put a lift in there and run a business, it's all yours. But
a lot of people are working from their homes now.
They are. And that one is 1.479 million. I think it's a great price. 8.32 acres. It's 15 minutes to downtown Greenville. So you could literally walk it if you had to. Then the home here in town in Greenwood, South Carolina, at 307 Pascal Drive is, I believe, 243,500, and it's got a pool out back. It's a doughboy pool above ground, 32 feet. Beautiful home. They've done some work to it. It's got such charm. But I love a house from the 70s.
Oh, I do too.
What is that about?
The 60s and the 70s. I don't know. They did a lot of open areas. Yes. That's what I love about it. You don't have to knock any walls down.
No.
That's why we wanted this house.
Yeah. So, okay.
1 minute left in this segment. What do you want to tell everybody before you go?
We have 1 minute, 1 hour is already go. 1 minute. Okay. So look, my love for people, it comes through in heart, right? So look, if you can bring some business my way, whether it's through, look, I design florals for prom, weddings, funerals. I do just get into it. I do paintings. I'm an artist on the side, but I'm a real estate agent and a loan officer as well. Interior designer, anything there that fits your fancy, I'm your man. And we're going to throw up what my how to contact me here in this segment, but please reach out to me, 864-828-1567. I accept texts, and I would love to speak with you about your need. I'd love to help you design, whether it's putting it together, anything you need, a drawing for your concrete pad out back. I got that. I've got these technical drawings, everything you need.
You'll help us see.
I just do this. So let's throw up these things maybe real quick. This is a little towel that I give out to people. It may be backwards on the, no, it's not. The Chad Depot. It's the Complete Home Advisory Department. That spells CHAD. It's an acronym from my business. But for the future, can I just say, for the future, I hope to own my own high-end luxury interior design business, and we actually build homes and design the whole thing for you right there. And that's my dream. And that's my dream. So
you'll do it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Age television talk show where truth matters. That's why we brought this guy here with us. You want a series?
I do.
Okay, all right. Hang around and we'll get you set up for next month. And thank you for watching. Continue sending emails. They actually make my day. Thank you so much for doing that. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.